Good day to all of you. Welcome to the today's class on ionization enthalpy. I told you this is the most important trend of the modern periodic table. So in our previous discussion, we were understanding factors affecting ionization enthalpy. Today we start with the last slide where we have stopped yesterday. And the last slide was giving information regarding relation between ionization enthalpy, electronic configuration, and size of the atom or atomic radius. So let us start today's session. Relation between ionization enthalpy, electronic configuration, and atomic radius. The outer electron, also known as the valence electron, experiences two opposing forces. Number one, attractive force from the nucleus. Second one, repulsive force from the neighboring electrons. See, this is the number one. This is the number two. Okay. The decrease in the force of attraction exerted by the nucleus on the valence electrons due to the presence of electrons in the inner shells is called the screening effect or shielding effect. That means outer electron experiences less force by the nucleus, from the nucleus, because of what? Inner nucleus are acting like a shield or the cover or the sweater for the outer electron. Therefore, outer electron will experience less repulsion what it is supposed to experience. Okay, this is because of what? This is because of a decrease in the effective nuclear charge on the outer electron just because of inner electrons, and this is called as what? Shielding effect. Okay, please here. Here I have taken two examples. Example number one is copper. Example number two is potassium. Okay. I have taken only the valence electronic configuration, outermost electronic configuration. It is 3d10 4s1. Okay, this is 3d10. So others are here. Okay, this is 4s1. This is what? Copper outermost electronic configuration. This one is outermost electronic configuration of potassium. 3p6 4s1. This is 3p6, 3 this side, and this is 4s1. What the diagram says, this is more attraction, means what? This electron is experiencing more attraction by the nucleus compared to the potassium. Why? Because of the less shielding effect in copper compared to the potassium. So this is, that means here we have more shielding effect. That means these electrons cover properly this electron. So when these electrons cover properly this electron, so less effective nuclear charge on this, you can remove this electron easily. More when they are covering properly, so this you can remove easily. Here these electrons, the 10 electrons in the 3D are not shielding properly, not covering properly, not protecting properly this electron. So that means when they are not covering properly, that means this is under the control of the nucleus. When it is under the control of nucleus, then we feel little difficulty in removing this electron compared to the potassium. See, in 11th class and 12th class, we will compare at a particular area. Don't compare here and there. Lithium, beryllium, only there is a comparison. Copper and the potassium, here only comparison. Okay, so don't compare here and there. So these are called particular trends. General trend is there. Once again, I'm repeating from the past class. General trends are there. Apart from the general trends, there are some particular trends there, and then we discussed. So here I've taken example of what? Copper and the potassium. In the case of potassium, it is more shielding, so therefore very easy to remove electron, whereas in the case of copper, less shielding, difficult to remove this electron. Why difficult here? Why less shielding? Why more shielding? Please wait. The shielding effect increases if the number of electrons in the inner shells between the nucleus and the outermost electron increases. That means now you have to concentrate on outermost electron. Before outermost electron, how many inner electrons are there, that you have to count. So more the number of inner electrons, more covering is by these electrons, more shielding is by these electrons. When they cover more, when they shield more, when they protect more, so that means nucleus will have less control on the outer electron. So more the number of inner electrons, more is the shielding effect. Easy is to remove the outermost electron. Second important point is shielding is effective when the orbitals in the inner shells are completely filled. This is most important point. Before the valence electron, if the inner electron number is more, okay. If the number is more, plus one more condition, what? If the inner electronic configuration is completely filled, then it is more shielding, very difficult to remove. Sorry, more shielding, easy to remove the electron. Okay, so what shielding? Because they are completely filled, they shield maximum. That means what is shielding? They protect from the nucleus. Nucleus will not drag the outer electron if the inner electronic configuration is the completely filled. So it is very easy to remove electron in this case. So this case arises when you see the electronic configuration of the alkali metals. One example, sodium, atomic number 11. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So outermost electron is 3s1. So before 3s1 what is there? 2s2, 2p6. It is completely filled like a noble gas. Okay, 2s2, 2p6. So when the inner electronic configuration in sodium is completely filled, they shield properly, they shield maximum. That means they protect the outer 3s1 electron very much from the nucleus. So nucleus is free to go. That's why ionization enthalpy of sodium is less, because of what? This reason. Not only sodium, this reason is applicable for all the alkali metals, because all the alkali metals will have the same pattern. What? Before the outermost electron, they have completely filled electronic configuration. So they protect very much. So in the case of alkali metals, because of the better protection by the inner completely filled electronic configuration, outermost electron can be removed very easily. That's why if you see the IE values of alkali metals, it is very less. Why? With less amount of energy we can remove the electron, because of this reason. Okay, very good. Now order of screening effect. S orbital will shield more than the P, than the D, than the F. Why? Again, because of what? Shapes of these orbitals. S orbital is spherical, P orbital is dumbbell, D orbital double dumbbell, F orbital many more lobes. And if you see the shapes of these lobes, P orbitals are two lobes spread in the space. They are spread, not like a circular. Okay, that means they can't cover properly because the shapes, it is shape is there. And D there are many lobes, and these lobes are spread in the space, and they can't cover properly, they can't shield properly, they can't protect properly. So in the case of d orbital, if the d orbital is there before the outermost, they can't cover properly. That time you can remove. It is very difficult. When they can't cover properly, then nucleus will drag the outermost electron. That time it is very difficult to remove the electron. You have to supply more energy. That means I is more. So before the valence electron, before the outermost electron, if F orbital is there, is very what difficult to remove electron. Then D, then P, and the S. It is exclusively because of the shapes of these orbitals. Therefore, you have to see the outermost electronic configuration, then take a decision that this outermost electronic configuration is before this, what type of arrangement is there, what type of atmosphere is there. So depend upon the atmosphere before the outermost electronic configuration, IE value decides. See here. Now, same example I have taken here. I told you why in the case of copper shielding is less and why in the case of potassium shielding is more, because before the s electron, this is also 4s1. This is also 4s1. But the problem is this one electron in the 4s, before this what is there? It is 3p is there, p orbital is there, dumbbell shape. It is spread in the atmosphere in the 3z in the what region, agreed. But compared to this d, what I told, see d is more diffused, spread, okay, in the space, can't cover properly, okay. This can cover to some extent, but this is less protection, very less protection, okay, very less shielding. Therefore, compared to 3p, 3D can't cover properly this electron. When it is can't protecting this electron properly, then this is under the control of this nucleus. So drag is more, pull is more, attraction is more, and the attraction is more difficult to remove. Whereas in this case, it is not a D, it is a P. This also less cover, it is also covers less, but compared to, once again I'm repeating, compare here only, compared to D, P can protect to some extent. Therefore, the nucleus attraction force between the nucleus and this outermost electron, here it is more than this. Therefore, you can remove this electron easily compared to this. This is because of what? This reason. Okay, so there are various reasons to remove the electron from the clutch of the nucleus. Only thing is you have to decide there and then why it is behaving like this. Okay. Now we'll go to one more small topic, electron gain enthalpy. It is gaining the electron, energy involved in gaining electron, in adding electron to the atom. And that is known as what? Electron gain enthalpy. It is the opposite of what? Ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy is to remove the electron from the atom. Electron gain enthalpy is what? It is to gain, to get the electron from someone to the atom. Okay. It is the amount of energy released when electron is added to outermost shell of an atom. See, adding electron is very difficult. Already there are some electrons in the shell. So if you add an electron to that shell where it needs, though adding, see, the repulsion starts between the existing electron and the adding electron. That's why energy comes out, that difference energy, repulsion energy. So energy is released when you add the electron, whereas in the case of IE, energy is added. In this case, energy is given out. So delta H is negative here. This energy release depends upon the extent of attraction for an incoming electron. So that means incoming electron is received by the atom, okay, that particular atom. How much, with what love and affection it is receiving, that is matter, okay. Whether atom is receiving with difficulty or with easy, that matters a lot. So depend upon the chemical atmosphere, with what interest, with what extent the nucleus will attract the incoming electron, that matters. In case of inert gases, they have almost no attraction. Why? Inert gases are the noble gases. They have the completely filled electron. Neither they want to give electron nor they want to take electron. Therefore, electron gain enthalpy is very difficult in the case of what? Inert gases. Not only electron gain enthalpy, even IE also very difficult because they are chemical least reactive. They are completely filled. Therefore, it is positive for inert gases. This means energy should be supplied. Why negative? When, see, while adding electron, energy given out, but here very difficult to add. So if you want to add electron in the case of inert gases, you have to supply. So delta H is positive, he want to say. So symbolically, for the metal in the gaseous state, isolated, if you add electron, becomes the anion. So thank you, my dear boys, till now. So remaining part we'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much.